All right, let's talk about something we all deal with every single day, our emotions. Not how to get rid of them, but how to actually get a handle on them. We're going to explore how to go from feeling like your emotions are in the driver's seat to, actually navigating your life with purpose. Let's dive in.
And this quote? This right here is the whole game. This isn't about becoming some kind of robot who doesn't feel anything. No way. It's about changing your relationship with your feelings so they become more like advisors instead of dictators. It's the difference between being tossed around by the river's current and, well, learning how to actually steer the boat.
You know this feeling. We've all been there. That sudden flash of anger or that wave of anxiety that just completely hijacks your brain. It feels like you're just a passenger on some roller coaster you never even agreed to get on. So this whole explainer, it's really the roadmap for grabbing the controls back. For moving from that automatic knee-jerk reaction to a place of clear, deliberate intention.
So what are we aiming for here? The goal is what we're calling emotional mastery. And I really want you to notice that key word, skill. This is not some magical power you're either born with or you're not. It's a skill. It's a muscle that you can build and strengthen just by learning to intentionally process what's going on inside.
This lays it out perfectly, right? It shows the two very different paths we can take. Over on the left, you've got that impulsive reaction. You're overwhelmed, your actions are totally automatic. But on the right, you've got the intentional response. You're navigating with clarity, making choices you actually stand behind. We're about to walk through how to get from that left column over to the right.
Okay, so where do we even begin with all this? Well, it all starts with building a really solid foundation of self-awareness. So let's break down the first 3 steps, which are all about understanding what's really happening in our own heads.
Step 1. Now, this is going to sound super simple, but honestly, it is the bedrock of everything else.
That's it. Just acknowledge it. Don't judge it. Don't try to solve it. And whatever you do, don't try to stuff it down. Just say to yourself, okay, wow, I'm feeling really jealous right now. Or, I'm noticing a lot of frustration bubbling up. This one simple act of just seeing it, just recognizing it, it stops the internal wrestling match, and it's your first real move toward taking back control.
All right, step 2. This one is all about creating just a little bit of breathing room.
This is where you see the incredible power of the pause. This is your chance to reclaim control. When a really strong emotion hits, your only job is to create a tiny, tiny gap. I'm talking one deep breath between that feeling and your action. That single moment, it's like a circuit breaker. It interrupts that automatic reaction and gives your thinking brain a chance to get back online.
And now for the final piece of our foundation. This is where we start to dig a little deeper.
So now, you get to be a bit of an emotional detective. You got to ask yourself, why am I really feeling this way? Is it just that snarky email that set me off? Or did it maybe trigger a deeper fear I have about not being respected at work? Getting to the why behind the what is the real key to making lasting changes, not just slapping on a temporary Band-Aid.
Okay, so that foundation is absolutely crucial for the long haul. But what about when you're in the middle of an emotional storm and you need an anchor, like right now? This next section is your emergency toolkit.
Your first tool is basically a direct line to your own nervous system. Deep, slow breathing is a physiological reset button. Seriously, when you consciously breathe in, hold it for a second, and then breathe out slowly, you send this powerful physical message to your entire body that says, hey, the threat is gone, it's safe to calm down. Our next tool is kinda wild, and it uses the surprising power of language.
There's this really cool idea from neuroscience called name it to tame it. The simple act of just putting a label on what you're feeling, just saying, this is disappointment, or this is panic. It actually shifts the activity in your brain away from the reactive emotional parts and over to the more logical parts. It literally turns down the volume on the emotion itself. How cool is that?
Okay, our final in-the-moment technique is for those times you feel completely lost in the feeling.
When your mind is just spinning out of control and you feel like you're lost in an emotional spiral, grounding is your lifeline. The whole point is to pull your attention out of your head and back into the physical world around you. Find 3 blue things in the room. Press your feet flat on the floor and feel it. Feel the texture of your shirt sleeve. It just anchors you right back in the present moment and breaks that chaotic loop in your head.
So we've got our foundation, we've got our emergency toolkit, now let's talk about the long game. This is all about building proactive habits that create real, lasting emotional resilience. The kind of resilience that means you need to use that emergency kit less and less.
And notice, these are all about playing offense, not defense. This is about actively questioning those negative thought loops that just add fuel to the fire.
It's about finding healthy ways to get your feelings out, like journaling or talking to a good friend, instead of just letting all that pressure build up. It means setting boundaries to protect your own peace and, taking time to look back and reflect on your patterns so you get smarter for next time.
So why bother with all this? What's the real payoff for doing this kind of work? Well, it's not just about feeling less bad. It's about building a life that feels more stable, more confident, and just more like you.
This is what you're building, brick by brick. Real emotional strength, so you can handle whatever life decides to throw at you. Stability, so you're not getting knocked off course by every little thing. And this deep, quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can actually trust yourself to handle your own inner world. That changes everything, your decisions, your relationships, your whole sense of well-being.
And that brings us to our final question, and it's for you. Because this isn't just a bunch of information, it's an invitation to act. Looking back at everything we've talked about, the pause, finding the root cause, setting boundaries, which one of those patterns feels like the right place for you to start? Thanks for digging into this with us.